this afternoon already. It will take about 20 minutes for the Alankar to be over. It will be a magnificent Alankar with gold kavacha. It's very auspicious. We offer kavacha to the deities. The gold kavacha for Saturn at this time of danger to the world. It's very, very appropriate. And Mother has given us an opportunity to do that. Actually, Saturn transit happened some time ago, about 6 months ago. According to Thirukanitha Panchangam, it is now. Today is the day of Saturn transit. All the temples in India, they do it. Why the difference? One is mathematical, that is Thirukanitha. Other one is walk. The rishis foresaw them. 5,000 years, 10,000 years. That long ago, they foresaw the movement of the planets. And they know this is the time Saturn moves. So today, we are celebrating for the second time. So it's better to do it both ways. Since we don't know which one is exactly correct, we do it both ways. Today is particularly very auspicious because Bhuvaneshwari Mata installation anniversary, I think it's about 9 years ago, we installed, 19, no, Bhuvaneshwari Deva, they came later. So Bhuvaneshwari Ambika, I will just say a few words before I go to Saturn. Bhuvaneshwari Ambika is Empress of the universe. She is space. Kali is time. Bhuvaneshwari is space. And the universe is between time and space and causation. That is all there is in the universe. Time, space, and causation. Nothing else is real. Everything else is our own creation. On this day, if you think of Bhuvaneshwari, she is the fourth aspect of Dasa Mahavidya. And she's space. What space? Space here, space inside me, space beyond the solar system, space beyond the galaxies, space around the creation, space everywhere. There are various types of spaces. So she is that. She represents all the spaces depending on which space you want, which space you want to use. So she is space. And Kali is time. So creation is after Mahakali created and time started. And space, because we need a space to perform whatever Mother decided to create life forms. And the life forms perform. And she is that. She is space beyond, inside, and within us. So she is everything. Lalita Sundari would be the energy aspect of that. She is love aspect of it, because that is what created the extreme. So today, we did the anniversary for her. Her mantra is Hreem. All Devi's mantra, Hreem you can chant for any Devi. The Hreem is Devi Pranava. Om is creative Nada. Next would be Hreem, and that is assigned to Devi. What is the difference? Shiva aspect, the Purusha aspect is ascendance. You are going up. Her gives that grace to us. She descends down to us so that we can go back to her. Extreme love, extreme grace. Grace is probably a right word. Grace is something is given to us. Many, many lifetimes we would have asked her. We want to come back to you or feel you, and she will give us 1,000,000 lifetimes, close to 1,000,000, and then we perform each time we raise our level of consciousness. She is pure, undivided consciousness. She is not divided. She is one. And we are small 1,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 aspect of her. And we evolve to that level. And in this house of hers, she's so kind. She's creating her own temple, which is very special, and doing it at this time of major crisis. We have major problems. COVID is just one aspect. There are many, many things awaiting us. And at that time, she is building that wonderful, wonderful temple. Hopefully, you will see it end of next year with so many Sannidhanams. Nearly 30, a little over 30 Sannidhanams of very unusual deities. And these are all needed. We need those aspects of her to go back to her. Very mystical Kundalini temple with so many of divine aspect. So today you think of Bhuvaneshwari Devi and chant Hreem to ask her to take you back to her, and she is pure love. Kali is time and Bhuvaneshwari is perfection. And causation is done by us, whatever we created. Our own karmic causation decides and determines what is the story going to be. So we create our own story. Bhuvaneshwari gives the space, the stage, and Kali has created the time. So we have all the time, eternal. That's why she's called Eternal Mother Temple, and this temple is called Eternal Mother Temple. So they are given a state and the time and the causation created a beautiful story. And you create your own story. We create our own story so we can go back. In the process, so many things happen in the universe. 4.5 billion years is our Earth. Saturn would be similar, very close. They all formed at that time. And once it's solidified, our Sun is the biggest of the gaseous masses. So they all solidified and the Sun captured our solar planets. They're all one. That is the reason why astrology is very scientific, because we're all from one cloud, cosmic cloud, close to us. Cosmic cloud extends throughout the universe, so we are all connected with the universe. But space is so huge between our solar system and the galaxy. Huge, unimaginable space, just darkness with the little dots of light. So what we see is 4 or 5% of the visible universe. Rest of it we don't even see because there's no light. And they are dark energy and dark matters. Yesterday we celebrated Ayyappa. Ayyappa aspect is connected to the dark matter. Mother is dark energy. They comprise 95% between them. And that's what keeps the universe expanding. The universe is still expanding more rapidly than at the beginning. It'll keep on expanding forever. Whether it'll crunch back one day when the gravitational pull overcomes, we don't know. I think it'll probably expand forever. Time does not have any meaning. Once we leave this limited solar system, time doesn't have any meaning. Limited Earth, time doesn't have any meaning. It's eternal. So today is Mother Bhuvaneshwari. On this day you should show her our gratitude and her grace, receive her grace, and she's going to give us a magnificent temple which the world will benefit, and it'll be many, many miraculous things will happen. It'll be a great, great place to be even able to come and see this. And we have started already. Mother's Sannidhanam hopefully will be ready by May or June. I was hoping we will have it ready by February, but it's huge, it's very magnificent. I'm referring to just Mother's Sannidhanam, the 30 of them. This Sannidhanam alone would be magnificent, and we will be so blessed to be able to see it. So that may be ready by May, June time frame. It will be a most magnificent Sannidhanam. Now, today is Saturn's day, so you have to say a few words about Saturn. Saturn is a very important planet. Greeks and Romans gave more importance to Saturn than Jupiter. We give more importance to Jupiter because it's a large size-wise. Density-wise, Saturn is very big, but size-wise, Jupiter is almost 10 times the Earth, and the Sun is 13 times. That's why it is Sun. It has gravitational pull. And Saturn controls our mind lake. So it's the mind lake. All our karmic repercussions, our karmic consequences, everything happens through him. Yama and Chitragupta, they are different. Yama is the god of death. He does what needs to be done after we pass this shell and go to different shell. He does what he has to do, and Chitragupta gives him the account of us. Whatever we did, every iota of the second is recorded. Even thought process. And he hands it over Yama, and Yama gives you his decision, what you have to do. And then we write the story. We write our story. Next story, you will write it, I will write it, my story. And then we will act out. And that will become prarabdha karma of that life. This is prarabdha karma of what we wrote last time and we are performing now. And we'll exhaust it and then we'll have a next one. Saturn is the one who you can look at him as an examiner. He decides good, bad, punishment, good thing. He is a tough examiner because we want to evolve. We want to purify. Ultimate thing is purification and evolution. That's the ultimate aim that releases us from this bondage. The desire, attachment, these are the fundamental asuras, the billions of them. And once it is there, we don't even know who we are, and we spend this time, and if you're blessed like us, she shows us what is reality, what is real and what is unreal, and she shows us how to know the reality. And that is called self-realization. And Saturn plays an important part in self-realization because he tells you this is what you did wrong. So ultimately what is important is purification. When you become pure, that purity level is the highest level of purity, pure mental, pure physical purity, without any vice, without any violence. That's a very difficult position to be in. Every one of us has something negative about us, some thought, something. So we keep on cleaning and cleaning. Ultimately, we need Mother's grace. Without that, her grace, we cannot become pure to that degree. That purity, almost angelical. So you become angels. And that for that purity, you need help. Million lifetimes, and all the Mother's grace, and Father's grace, and they give it to us. And as we evolve, we get the grace, and we must be blessed to be here on this day to invoke Bhuvaneshwari and to do the Abhishekam for Saturn. Doing Abhishekam for Saturn is very important because Saturn is a tough planet. That 2.5 years you go through suffering, and most of the houses is not happy houses. If you look at all, I'll say houses in 12 rasis, most of them are not happy. Most of them. 8 of them will be unhappy. And happiness is probably most effective for us. We need that. That unhappiness, the suffering purifies us. So you want purity, so you have to have that. And it shows. But depending on the house. But Saturn, most of the houses, because he's a tough examiner. An examiner will train you. And the training is tough. But we need it. Without that, we don't evolve. We will be in a rudimentary conscious state, and that will be forever. It has taken almost a million lifetime to get to this, and we have to keep moving. And she brought us here, because this is entry to Devaloka. What I mean by that is, all the Yakshinis, Mohinis, Vidyadharas, Gandharvas, all the super sensual forces are reactively present here. So we come to them, so they know us. So when the time comes and we finish our human existence, how long that would be, we don't know. It may be another 100,000 times, or another twice, or maybe next time. Most likely it would be soon. We would enter that world, that level of consciousness. There we function like devatas, angelical beings. There's no body, there's no mind, there's no karma either. They have their own challenges. But they evolve different level of devatas. And ultimately, you become her. She takes us. That will be eternal. That will be forever. So Saturn plays a very important part. That's the reason why all his houses we are going to go through 12, either of them are inauspicious, meaning tough, not happy, pleasant. Because Vedas say there are two ways we can take life, good or pleasant. That's a fundamental of life. Two types Vedas describes. Take the pleasant, yes, you will have life, many lifetime forever. Okay, it'll keep on, we'll keep on coming. Enjoy, suffer the pleasantness, and when there's pleasantness, there's unpleasantness. Automatic. Good life finishes. You do everything good. So good or pleasant, you choose. Hopefully you'll choose good and she'll help us to conduct good life. Pleasantness has to be there, otherwise life won't go on. But keep it minimal, keep it without attachment, follow Gita's advice, do it on his name, on Krishna's name. So you don't take the karmic consequences. But in reality you have to. That soul has to evolve, has to purify, so you have to pay the price. So Krishna Bhagavan gives the easy way out. Take it on me and I will carry the cross. Same thing Jesus Christ said. But it's not that simple. We have to carry our own cross to a great degree because the purification needs that. The ultimate aim is moksha. Moksha is purification things. Once we are pure, that's the reason to be in the angelical world, we have to be pure. Otherwise we would not be angels. We would not be different levels of angels. Billion levels of angels, different degree of purification, different degree of Devata effect. On top of it, she says, Sarita, Tirupura Sundari, Bhuvaneshwari, the 10 Mahavidyas. They're all one. But we, for Vedas, have described it in 10 different ways for our own understanding, beginning with time, beginning, then end with Kamalambika, the 10th. Mahakali would be the first. So 10, that's a Mahavidya. It makes it easier for us to understand the different levels of Devatas, and we want to know them. So today, think of Saturn. Okay, knowing all this tough life, painful, all these things, Saturn is going to give us. Some 3 or 4 houses are good. 2, 5, 7, 9, 11, they're good houses. But there's nothing good about Saturn because you suffer. Even an happy life has many unhappiness. You have children, you have family, and you die. Death is always there. That's the only thing which is real, which exists, which we cannot escape. So there is unhappiness, there is dissolution. So to survive it, you need Saturn's grace. How do you maneuver him? How do you manage the Saturn? There are certain things you can do. For instance, on Saturdays, you come and pray to him because Saturn is connected. On that day, Saturn is most active for the earthlings. So on that day, you come and show your affection, your love, your thanks, your appreciation, and your request. Makes sense. And we do them. And you feed poor people. Feed people who are deformed. The Saturn is Manda, and is supposed to have a lame leg. All mythological, but they don't have any form. It's all our own imagination, description, and we give a form and a name. And Saturn would have that. That's why it's called Manda. And it moves very slowly. All the planets move fast, he moves 2.5 years. He stays. That is why we are afraid of Saturn. Because he can handle 1 month, 2 months, even Mars, 6 weeks. You can handle it, however bad that Mars in that house is. You can manage it. But 2.5 years, whether it's a Panchangam Sani, there are various types of Sanis. Panchangam Sani, Ashtamat Sani, various types. And I finished my Ashtamat Sani, 8th house Saturn. Today I will go to 9th house. 9th house is a good house. See how she does it? 9th house stars. We build temples. We'll have a beautiful temple next year. That's because my Saturn is going to 9th house. Your Saturn would be auspicious. I don't know your Saturn. Somehow you'll get a lot during this time when you participate in the construction. So you can do them. And feed poor people, feed deformed people, which again makes sense. It's good to do that anyway. But particularly for Saturn, it's good to do that. And there's a mythology, Nala Maharaja. How many of you know Nala? Nala Maharaja, you know. It says reading his story is good for you. You know why? He went through most suffering. Reading somebody's suffering, you understand how Saturn can do it. So you look and say, God, I didn't go through that. He went through a lot. He didn't even have money to cremate his son. His wife brings his son, he didn't know it was his son, to cremate. And he's a cremation manager. You know, they charge you for cremation. He's a cremation manager. And that son was his son. He didn't even know that. Then he finds out, but he doesn't have the money. That's one example, how much he suffered. So it says, read Nala Maharaja's story. You can read it. It's very interesting how much a person can suffer. And no one can escape Saturn. No one, even Shiva, had to go through certain suffering because of him. Because his job is that. His job is to test you. His job is to purify you. So there's no way out. You're born, you will be on Saturn. So hopefully your Saturn is good. I think we've given a write-up on Saturn. It gives you some information, which houses it is good, which house bad. And don't feel bad if it's not a good house, because I told you, 70% are bad houses. That means chances are very good, it would not be a good house. But it is a good house. You know why? Because we are here with her. And she's going to give a wonderful temple, house of hers, with all the super sensual forces, which should help us. And they are not affected by planets. So you get their grace, the planets won't affect you that much. You still go through some, but your perception, ultimately everything is perception. However terrible the torture is, it's a perception. If you don't perceive it that negatively with her grace, then it's not negative. The worst torture would not be the worst one. So the secret is get His grace and do these little things to appease that Saturn which is in us, in you and me, that piece of Saturn in us. We have to align that, make it harmonious with the macrocosmic Saturn, with the microcosmic Saturn. And these are all the little things we gave, which Vedas, mythologies, Puranas, advices. Ultimately, just go through, you have to purify. So you have to go through some of that. But the key point is, the word is, this will end, this will end. And that period is going to end. I went through the 8th house and it ended today. So everything ends. But you don't even worry about that. You just live the life the best you can. The best is to help some other organism, to be a part of her plan, which is to take us back to her. And temples doing, helping other souls, even the message I'm sharing with you, that's my contribution, her contribution through me. And then you go and spread that to other life forms. I say humans. Other life forms won't understand this. This is the kind of thinking. This is only for human, abstract thought process. Only humans can benefit. Anything you can do, animals. I was wishing we have a Gomata. We want to have a Gosala in the back of the temple. It has many benefits, not just the milk. It has many vibratory benefits. Hopefully in a few years we will have one. And hopefully we'll take good care of it. There are lots of vibration from cow. Cow represents Atman. Moon represents mind. So between these two is completion. So we will have them. She will give us wonderful, wonderful temple. Nothing like that you would have seen. Once we complete it, hopefully I'll be around to do that. We will have a magnificent temple, very meaningful. Very symbolic, meaningful, powerful, active. It will be live. Temple, every energy will be live because she designed it. And we have a little model there. She gave us ideas, what all we should have, and that hopefully we will have it in a year or two and participate. The best thing you can do, the long-term investment, best investment to do something for the development of a soul, the cosmic development of a soul. That's the best gift you can give to anyone. How do you do them? Participate in a temple which feeds the soul. You can build hospitals, you can give universities, you can do everything, but that's all mind, body, intellect level, which will go away. 100 years, you're gone. Temporary investment. But when you do this, participate in an act which potentiates the soul, that is a long-term investment. You have it forever. So it's another clue. Participate in that in any way you can. Participate by sponsoring a vigraha, sponsoring a deity if you can afford, or sponsoring a small piece of it. Yesterday one person came and he wanted to participate in Dwaja Stambha Balipidam Simhavahan. There's one set. And that'll cost us about $250,000 or maybe $200,000. And this man wanted to give 50,000. I said, you can give 5,000, 5 or 50. But participate in that because Dwaja Stambha Balipidam Simhavahan symbolism is very important. When I drive in, I look at that. Immediately I see a Dwaja Stambha, my Kundalini starts acting. But that is symbolism of Kundalini energy. Simhavahanam is my beastly quality. Dwaja Stambha. Balipidam is I sacrifice this dirty aspect of me, again purification. It's all very symbolic, meaningful. And that's what that represents. So we will have it. She's even going to give us a tank, a beautiful tank which has a deep symbolism. Temple tank has very deep symbolism. So all this, we cannot plan, we cannot build. She has to give it. And she, I think, will give it to us. And so participate and do whatever you can. And Saturn will look at you kindly because he wants you to purify. And all these are acts of purification. So all this at the time of Saturn, if it's bad. If it's good, enjoy it. But life is never good. It's always this unhappiness with good. So you have to live that. So all these things we gave, you read it and you follow it. On this day, think of Saturn and pray to him. Think of Mother and ask her for grace to understand Saturn and to survive Saturn and enjoy and grow. Growth, purification. Remember those keywords. Thank you.